Right.
Okay. All right. So the other thing that I just wanted to kind of do is wrap up. And I thank you so much, Jean. I know I told you we'd only take like about 5-10 minutes, but this video is so good. I'm sure everybody watching it is happy that we're taking this time. So Jean, the last thing that I actually wanted to ask you about was, is there some education or training that you would recommend for anybody in the industry here like we are, that maybe, you know, obviously they're not necessarily going to go become a conservationist like you are, but, you know, maybe there's some training that we could go out and explore a little bit to get us some more knowledge about art?
One of the things that I would recommend is proper art handling. And that includes taking a painting off a wall using both hands and not grabbing the ornament. If there's an area that's flat, you grab that. Don't grab the ornament. And specifically with furniture, you always want to grab something from the bottom up. We did a desk that had been in a flood, and it was the woman's uncle's. We fixed it. I mean, when she came in, she literally cried. It looked brand new. I mean, not brand new, but like new. The movers came in, they lifted it up from the top surface, and the whole top came up.
Oh.
And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, just knowing how to hold things. When you have a chair, don't lift it up by the arms, lift it from the bottom. When you have a sofa, lift it from the bottom. There's just certain proper art handling techniques. When you have vases, when you have anything made out of china or glass, support it from the bottom. If it has handles, do not use them. Tip it slightly so that you can put your hand under and lift. Use gloves. You know, if you're handling china or ceramics, use latex gloves. If you're handling frames, use cotton. You can also use latex if it's going to be like a slippery type thing. Use the proper glove for the proper object that you're handling. You don't want to leave fingerprints on things. It's just kind of a basic, you know, and they're things that are so, you know, they're just sort of common sense-ish, but you don't think about them.
Right.
And I do want to get back to one other thing that we said, but I'm gonna remind you, you know, most of the time, if people have high value art and it's glazed, and if it has UV, whether it's museum glass or conservation clear, and I always say this, both being 98% UV filtering, never use Windex because it has ammonia. It will take that film off.
Oh.
There's two things you can use, sparkle, and I just completely forgot the name of the other one, but you know what? I'm going to bring you out to my shop and we will get the name of the other one.
Okay.
Because I cannot remember it.
Okay.
Here it is. Perfect glass. Is that backwards?
Nope. It's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect glass. And the other one is called Sparkle. Those are the two we use in our shop. That's all we use because all we use is museum or UV. So we can't be using something that will take off the film. You know, as far as art handling goes too, when you put something down, when you take a piece of art off a wall, put it on something that's soft. You don't want to put it on a bare wood floor or concrete floor. You always want to have it buffered with some type of carpet. You know, that goes for putting anything that's glass or ceramic. You want to put it on a buffered surface. You know, and usually if you can wrap something immediately in bubble wrap, and let me just say this to all the restorers out there, ceramics and glass objects can easily be cleaned in your shop. Those don't have to go to a conservator. You know, as long as you're careful with them and you use a detergent. If you can get Orvis detergent, that's great. Even if you can use like a very mild dishwashing detergent like Ivory, you're good to go with things like that. We did a whole, I don't know, there were probably 150 Hummels that came to us black. And we cleaned them, you know, in the sink with nice warm water and Ivory soap. And those, you know what I mean? Those don't need to go to a conservator.
No, we actually did a whole bunch of Hummels too. And there was Dawn dish soap is my favorite. I've used Dawn for 25 years in my own kitchen. And, you know, here's what I always say when people are like, Dawn, dish soap, is that tender? They wash baby ducks with it when they get soaked in oil. So, you know, if you want something gentle but a degreaser, Dawn is like,
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I've never used the ivory, but as Jean's
you
saying,
know what, Dawn is great too, and I like it for that reason, that it, you know, they donated tons of it to clean up all of the animals in Alaska, and I kind of like that.
I know, me too. Wow. Well, you know, Jean, I'm so happy you reached out to me. I'm so happy that we connected and that you were so willing to share your expertise with all of us. I'm sure everybody watching this video is just ecstatic. You know, I hope you all really, you know, listen to the things that Jean said. This is the stuff that we need to know, that we don't know, that will help us be better restorers for our clients, so that we know when to call Jean and have someone like her help us out. And, you know, I'm going to put some links below the video for sure, so that you can all get in contact with Jean and have her in your Rolodex. But Jean, please tell us, how does someone get a hold of you? Maybe your phone number and or your website or email address. Like, how can restorers connect with you?
My phone number is 317-396-0885. If you let it ring and it rings a lot, keep letting it ring. It'll forward into my cell phone. So I am always available. And my website is easterconservation.com. And I am really open for questions from anybody at any time. So if anybody has a question, don't hesitate to call. I'm available. I can tell you, you know, if I can't do it, who can, where to go. I can look up the AIC directory and tell you who's nearby. And would certainly love everyone's business. But again, I want to just say, I would like to take everybody's business. And I would, you know, that right now would be great. However, in dealing with art, I want to find somebody close to you too, if it's possible, that you can use, because it's better for the art that it doesn't travel as long as it, you know, may be out there. But, you know, I am totally available to help anybody, and please use me as a resource.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jean. Well, on that note, as usual, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you've stayed with us through this video, I really appreciate it. You know how much that I value your time. So the fact that you want to spend it here with me and Jean today does mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for your questions. If it weren't for the questions that you send me, Ask Annissa wouldn't be what it is, and Jean and I would have never met. So that would be a very sad thing to me. So thank you.
And me.
Thank you so much. So don't forget, send me questions, Annissa@firehouseeducation.com. And if you'd like me to do interviews with other experts, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that. And maybe Jean and I will do another interview together. I'm sure I will be reaching out to her myself, absolutely, over the up and coming years as I have questions. I'm going to reach out to her as one of my resources. So again, send me your questions, and you all take care and stay safe out there. And I will see you on next week's Ask Annissa video column.